They're all still on their honeymoon. Just read the dialogue below. Everyone loves you. Why should they not? And I'm the only one who knows the Disneyland's about to close. I don't suppose you give it a shot, knowing all that you've got are cigarettes and red wine. Just close your eyes, 'cause baby, you never do know. And I'll be on the sidelines, my hands tied, watching the show. Well, it's always funny.
This is always such a lovely way to end the week, isn't it? A
Yes, it is.
bit
Yeah,
of
I look forward
music
to it.
and a chat. And so welcome everyone to another exciting episode of that album. I didn't mean that to come across as sarcastic, because it is an exciting episode of that album. And we're doing let me make sure I get the title right. Bachelor No. 2, or The Last Remains of the Dodo by Aimee Mann. And it's not an artist that I knew at all before
excellent.
you said, how about doing this one? And it's really rather nice, isn't it?
Yeah. But nice.
No.
It's not actually. It's not very nice. It is lovely and nice, and it's definitely not nice. That's what makes it so good.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the thing that's so interesting about this album is that it's the backstory and what was going on at the time, and how this was like a sea change, wasn't it, in the opportunity for artists to produce music and take it to market. So a pivotal album for her and for the music industry, really.
Yes. Yeah.
So I put on the show notes, and the thing is, you look different places and it says it came out in a different year. So I put in the show notes that it was 1999, but it actually wasn't. It was 2000, I think.
Yes.
So 2000, some interesting stuff happened. Harold Shipman was sentenced. General Pinochet was indicted. The RBS took over NatWest. An Enigma machine was stolen from Bletchley Park. Tony Martin was sentenced for shooting the burglars in his barn.
That was that long ago.
Gosh. Yeah, and Ken Livingstone was elected as an independent candidate as Mayor of London. And then the Tate Modern opened, the Millennium Bridge opened, and Judith Keppel won £1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. A load of footballers were born. No one really cares about that. Charles Gray, Robert Welsh, the designer, Ian Drury, Sir Robert Sainsbury, John Gilbert, Alec Guinness, and Reggie Cray all died.
Yes.
Films: The Beach. Good music for The Beach, actually. Shaft, Erin Brockovich, Castaway, Chocolat, Mission Impossible 2, Snatch, Miss Congeniality. All quite good films. Good books: Angels and Demons, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, The Return of the Naked Chef, and Tipping Point by
The Return of the Naked Chef.
Yeah, the Jamie Oliver cookbook.
Yeah, I know.
Which
he was the first person to not talk to the camera, talk to the producer.
Yeah, and he is the either the second or third best-selling author in the UK of all time, which is quite impressive, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, well, commercial success isn't everything, is it?
Oh no, I think he's all right. Actually, I've heard some stories that he isn't all right, but
okay.
But
let's not go into that.
He's very charming. Albums: Iron Maiden, Ryan Adams, The Hives, Radiohead, Pearl Jam, Green Day, Super Furry Animals, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Limp Bizkit, Badly Drawn Boy, all produced albums this year. And there was some good music as well. There was Madonna good music, The Marshall Mathers by Eminem, and Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears.
Oh, lovely.
And of course, this.
Yes.
So why did you choose this album, Sue?
Okay. Well, I was introduced to Aimee Mann and Till Tuesday, her original band by a chap called Alex Morris, who was an architecture student with me in Liverpool. In fact, I think I was already teaching by then, and he joined the second degree because he'd done his first degree at Cambridge, and I didn't know anything about her or the band. But Till Tuesday had a massive hit via an MTV video called Voices Carry, which we'll come back to later probably. But as a result of this, she came to perform in Liverpool twice, once with her first solo album tour, and then with her second solo album tour. And I think I went to both. And a really interesting thing happened. She's from Boston, right?
Yeah.
And well,
Boston, Massachusetts, rather
yeah.
than Boston, Lincolnshire.
Yes, yeah, she's an American, and she asked the audience. She's had a fax from an MP, and of course, in 2000, it was dodgy, lots of dodgy MPs around, and this MP was Tony Banks, right?
So sorry, in 2000 there were lots of dodgy MPs around.
Yeah, there was that whole. I can't remember what the scandal was called, but
you're saying that as if that isn't
John
the case now.
Yeah, I know, but at that time you would resign because you'd done something.
Yeah, but that was very different, obviously.
Obviously. So she didn't know who this person was, so she had to check him out. And she asked the audience, this guy, Tony Banks, is he okay? And he's a Labour MP. My dad knew him actually because he was in the same local area. And we said he was fine. And I found out later that they did meet. She did go and have tea with him at the House of Commons, and they became quite firm friends. And there's a little article about how they met, which is nice. He's not around anymore. But yeah. So, but why this album, this particular album, as well as her, this is my rediscovery of her. So this was her third album, which we'll talk about the backstory, and it's all about relationships. It's about personal relationships. It's about business relationships. And I identify with so many of the themes. And I was thinking, I need a singer-songwriter who's a woman, because I've done lots of blokes who write songs for you. And this is number 6. And last time we did Dick Gaughan, and his work is really direct. You know exactly what it's about, but this is not like that. You don't always know what the meaning is, but there are things that you identify with the meaning, and they all have passionate meaning. And doing the research on it, I'm really glad I did, because I found some really interesting interviews and articles with her about how important lyrics are. And so I think it's music for people who care about quality of music and quality of lyrics. It's not the thing appears together. It's all about feelings. And
quality of lyrics is a really important thing for me, which is why I hate Oasis. Because if you so we have done What's the Story, Morning Glory on the show, and we've also done Dead Can Dance, Serpent's Egg, or whichever album it was that we did.
Right.
And Sarah Gerard, that sings in Dead Can Dance, doesn't sing words. She just sings sound.
Yes.
And if the lyrics don't have any meaning and they don't tell a story, that's really what you're doing, isn't it? So why dress it up with words? And that's my thing with
Yes.
Oasis. You know, it ain't like Leonard Cohen, where it's poetry. So for artists that are able to write compelling stories in their lyrics, that's a very beguiling thing, I think.
Yes, and it comes out a bit later when we talk about one of the songs later. I'll give you an example of that, because she does talk about it quite a lot, and why it's really important. Do you want a bit of history? She always wanted to do the things that were not for girls. That attracts me to her, because I would like that, including she wanted to learn the bass, and her family just loved her.
The bass as in Susie Quattro type?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she actually went to Berklee School of Music in Boston to study bass guitar, but she dropped out because she discovered punk, and all of that stuff. She was also maybe might explain some of the things she writes about, and how intelligent she is about feelings and behaviors. Because when she was 3, her mother had an affair, and her parents got divorced, and her mother kidnapped her and brought her to England. and her father had to dispatch a private detective to find her and bring her back. And then she didn't see her mother for 14 years. So if that happens when you're young, there can be all sorts of effects. And I think she's turned out very well, actually.
Well,
And
yes.
yeah. So yeah, and so she had a band called Till Tuesday in the 80s, and then in 1990 she started a solo career so she could do less poppy songs. She did 2 albums with Imago Records, who then sold out to Geffen, but they wouldn't publish a second album because they didn't like it very much. So they sold it to Geffen as part of their thing, and they eventually released it. And really, her career has been about the difficulties she's had with record executives who think they know what works and what doesn't it work, and to a certain extent they do, but that doesn't mean that what they don't like isn't any good. It just means that they don't like it.
And increasingly, and odd that the last album that we did together was Dick Gaughan, and obviously
He's had these
was
problems with his
going through a
back
similar
catalogue, yeah.
thing with the record companies holding on to the copyright of his back catalogue, and the same with Nick Jones, a Dick Gaughan kind of guy. But also that happened with Mike Oldfield, where he signed obviously to Virgin. They were the only people that would produce Tubular Bells, and then Richard Branson's like, "Well, you sign 10 records, so that's it. You're going to do me 10 records, and I don't care how long it takes, and I'm not going to release you from it."
It's just, yeah. Well, it's obviously because it's all about money, and we know how to make money, so we're not going to do anything else, and that's fine as long as there's another way of making art, because that's what this actually is.
Yeah, and interestingly, my notes on this said this became a cause célèbre for the artistic class. It was it was prioritizing the middle class artist over the blockbuster or bust mentality of the 90s and that whole period of music production and release.
Where things had really become very manufactured again. They'd
Yeah.
been manufactured before, and you couldn't do non-manufactured stuff. And in a way, that's still happening, even though with the internet, anyone is publisher. With things like Spotify, in theory, anybody can be listened to, but that isn't how it works, because the whole thing's manipulated. And but she ended up selling EPs that she self commissioned and of this on her gigs and stuff, and it took off that way. And then eventually set up her own publishing company, and I've written that down somewhere and I can't find it. It's called Super Ego Records.
Yes. Yeah, that made me giggle, the name.
Yes. And of course, the other part of the backstory, apart from the fact that this was self-published and then sold 300,000 copies, is that she was married to Sean Penn's brother, Michael Penn, who's a musician. And he knew Paul Thomas Anderson, the filmmaker who made Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood and all of that. They met and they got on really well. And he started to think about making a film based on the characters in the songs that she writes. And that led to the film Magnolia, which I don't know whether you've seen.
I haven't seen, but I'm familiar with the name.
It's brilliant. So it's like an ensemble piece with these sort of all connected individuals. And it's got a young Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. It's got Jason Robards in his final role of a dying man.
Oh, wow.
And it's got Tom Cruise playing an Andrew Tate-like character called Frank T.J. Mackey. And it's hilarious to watch the scenes with him in. But all of the people in there are all people who are massively affected by something that happened to them in their past, like as children or something like that. And it's a very long film, but it's absolutely brilliant and weird. Yeah, all sorts. There's some really strange things that happen in it. It's
worth a watch.
Definitely, yeah. I loved it, and even more because her music's all over it. And the guy who recorded this, John Bryan, who used to play with Till Tuesday as well, also wrote some of the other music for the album. There is an album track. This is not the album track, but the two projects developed together. So there are songs here that are in the film. There are songs that were written about characters in the film or the characters are based on. So it's all sort of interwoven with that film, which is great because, yeah, and she does a lot of stuff. She had a cameo appearance in The Big Lebowski. She
Right.
wrote music for Jerry Maguire, but I don't think it was ever published. She's done lots of stuff like that. And she does lots of other artistic things, like makes cartoon strips and stuff as well. But
So not really any talent.
No.
So should we have a bit of music?
Let's go for it. Yeah.
So track one, How Am I Different?
Yes.
Should we give it a blast, or do you want to explain a little bit?
This is the Cuddly Monkey song. In our house, a cuddly monkey is something that seems like a really good idea, right? But you know that if you say yes, it'll turn out to be an absolute disaster. So, and of course, we're always spending our time making decisions, and there are always people trying to get us to make decisions, but often it's just sales talk, Adam. So that's what this is about. Yeah.
Right. So here we go.
Oh, not that one.
Sorry.
Everything you're trying to make me believe. 'Cause this show is too well designed, too well to be held with only me in mind. How am I different? How am I different? How am I different? I can't do it, so move along. Do you really want to wait until I prove you wrong?
So in my notes about this, I've got the narrator addresses a lover, or perhaps fan, music executive who claims to want something real but keeps repeating the same toxic patterns. And, yeah, key lyric, when you fuck it up later, do I get my money back?
Yes. Yeah, she drops the F-bomb in the middle just to make sure you know what you're getting. And there's a really warm, one of the things about her songs is they're really warm. And this is the thing about being able to say things that people can't say with music. And that's the power of the lyrics. And the interesting thing about this is, for me, is how am I different means, so what makes me so special from the next person you're going to try and convince? You know, I bet you say that to all the girls.
Yeah.
And I can imagine the scenario in which she's often asked to do things and she's going to say no. She's going to keep saying no. Look, no, all right, now bugger off.
Yeah, and I mean, you said about comfortable, and the way the sound of it and the way it is mixed is almost soothing, isn't it?
It's very warm.
Yeah, and easy listening, although not easy listening when you hear what's being sung about.
Yes, and that and I'm saving my story about that. But yes, it is. That's definitely part of it. And I remember when I first heard her sing the refrain. Just one question before I pack. When you fuck it up later, do I get my money back? And I just love it when somebody can say that out loud.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the next track, I've got a note here. This is the Diane Warren song. It was written as a direct response to the Geffen executive who told Mann her songs weren't commercial enough.
Yes. Yeah, and and particularly that she didn't have a single.
Yeah.
Not going to put the album out because it doesn't have a single.
Yeah, so it features a breezy, upbeat Burt Bacharach-style piano medley and light jazz percussion. Yeah, so let's have a...
Go on then.
This is Nothing Is Good Enough. Story of my life.
Once upon a time is how it always goes, but I'll make it brief. What was started out with such excitement, now I'd gladly end with relief. And what now has become a familiar motif. But nothing is good enough for people like you. You have to have someone take the fall. Something to sabotage, determined to lose it all. Critics at their worst could never criticize the way that you do. No, there's no one else I find to undermine or dash a hole quite like you. And you do it so casually too. 'Cause nothing is good enough for people like you. Have to have someone take the fall.
It's simultaneously not commercial at all, and yet incredibly polished and commercial. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's very sophisticated, but it's not. It's not like it doesn't sound really like anything else, does it?
No, I don't think her stuff does. I mean, I don't think, it's not, I suppose it has a genre, but, it's her.
Mm.
And people often say no one else can really sing her songs, for example. There are people like that. But yes, I think it is very well produced. There are a lot of different people on the album doing all sorts of things like cheesy piano. But you can see her performing. She performs with a band of 3 or 4 people, and that works too. But I think probably it's the circumstances in which this was produced, when had been moved to Geffen Records, or she was with Imago, and that it was produced that way. And of course, she's done quite a bit since. I haven't listened to much of the rest of the stuff, so I don't know whether it always stays that way.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I just pulled her up on Wikipedia, and I don't understand how I could not have heard of this person.
Mm.
So she is 65 years old now, and has a huge body of work, which
Yes.
absolutely should be in my kind of
Yeah.
sweet spot in terms of what I listen to.
I think originally I didn't find her because I wasn't an MTV person, because I was top of the pops type generation of person. And when MTV came along, the songs that showed all the time on MTV were, really, really made it. And she became really well known by a generation of people then in the mid 80s. But I'd already moved on to something else, or whenever it was, it was somewhere like late 80s. Yeah. So, so that's probably why. But the lyric in that song is, it doesn't really help that you never say what you're looking for, but you know it when you'll hear it.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyone who's worked in the design industry will be familiar with that.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I know what I like.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So the next track, Red Vines.
Yes.
This was, I think, my favourite from the album. I
right.
absolutely loved this.
Yeah.
And this features, you said about Michael Penn, Sean's brother, on slide guitar.
Yeah.
And
it's about Paul Thomas Anderson too. And it's one of those songs where you don't really know what it's about, because you don't know their relationship, but it is about him and her. But it is so, the way when you listen to it and listen to the words, you realise that it's really loving while being incredibly honest about what a stupid fool he is. And at the same time, I just think you're hilarious and I love being your friend. But I'm going to step back and watch this happen.
Yeah. So Red Vines.
couple still on their honeymoon. Just read the dialogue alone. Everyone loves you. Why should they not? And I'm the only one who knows. The Disneyland's about to close. I don't suppose you give it a shot, knowing all that you've got are cigarettes and red wine. Just close your eyes, 'cause baby, I never do know. And I'll be on my sidelines, my hands tied, watching the show. Well, it's always fun and games until it's clear you haven't got the skill in keeping the gag from going too far. So you're running round the parking.
Absolutely love this. Absolutely love this song.
You
And
just know that she loves this person.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And it's kind of I found all of the tracks kind of, even when they were tackling quite difficult or tough stuff, I found them all really quite charming.
Yes, and that's a sort of it's a methodology to do this thing about talking about stuff that's quite emotional without using the music to make you feel emotional.
Yeah,
It's not, it's not strings and it's not extreme. It's very soft and open, and then that's how the things can appear in it. And I think that's really clever. And yeah, and I'll tell you that story. She said when she was 11, she heard "Alone Again Naturally" by Gilbert O'Sullivan. Do you know that song?
yeah.
Isn't it?
Alone again,
Naturally. A song about killing yourself and your parents dying. And she didn't at the time, she just loved it. And then when she was a bit older, someone told her what it was about. And she realized what a powerful thing, and I think afterwards, probably when she was older as well, how powerful it is to be able to say the unsayable, to talk about something that's so taboo,
Yeah.
by putting it in a beautiful tune.
Yeah.
And I think that's her magical talent. So there's some, and it's what's quite interesting about the movie being about this, because the movie doesn't have a lot of the songs in, but there are songs in the movie where people read out the word, use the lyrics in the words. And there's a point in the movie where everyone sings one, not one of the ones on this album. So there's a sort of, you see the relationships, and they're all obviously contrived because they're in a film. And the music sort of pulls them together, and that's quite lovely, I think.
Yeah.
It's a nice project.
So the next track, I was surprised to see who co-wrote this.
Yes, and it's not the first song she wrote with Elvis Costello.
Is it not?
No, she wrote another song which is on one of Till Tuesday's albums, and that was called "The Other End of the Telescope," which is a really beautiful song about realizing that someone else is much smaller than you are, and that means sort of morally. At the other end of the, I'll see you at the other end of the telescope, where you're really tiny. And they wrote that together, and apparently with this one, she was trying to get the song to work, and she couldn't get it to work, and it needed different lyrics, so he kept the beginning of it and then wrote a completely different story in it with her, if you like. And obviously, it sounds like she's an absolute awe of him, which I think is funny, because I think they're both really fantastic songwriters.
Yeah, really good point, because I thought there were elements in here that I thought, oh, I know this, but I completely unaware of Aimee Mann.
Yes. Well, she's been in a lot. I think she's been in a lot of films as well. A lot of her music has appeared lots of places, and
Yeah.
that's probably why too. Maybe.
The production for this next song, "The Fall of the World's Own Optimist," the production is layered with antique keyboards and Lennon-esque backing vocals, situating Mann firmly in the lineage of classic British songwriters.
Okay.
So here we go. The Fall of the World's Own Optimist.
There's no charity in you, and that surprises me. I guess I thought you were a golden idol, 'cause I called you Majesty on the balustrade. You watched me hunt for tips, I was obliged to pick up from the passing page. It's the fall of the world's own optimist. I could get back up if you insist, but you'll have to ask politely, 'cause the eggshells I've been treading couldn't spare me a beheading. And I know I had it coming. I see as I was always running. Hey kids, look at this. It's the fall of the world's own optimist.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You can sort of feel him in it, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they're both like that, you know, and yeah, so I think it's very much they sort of click with each other, which is lovely. And it's interesting. I think this song is a sort of partly to do with one of the, you know, first song on our album, because it's about giving in. You gave in, and now look what's happened. You know, they've behaved just as you expected them to, and so they're also related. I think Elvis Costello's, particularly his early songs and the stuff he wrote for the Juliet letters, you know, so complex and rich in sort of ideas and emotions. So it's not surprising that they get on, really. In my
Yeah.
view.
So Satellite theme, a study of narcissism and isolation, and it is like one of the things that's kind of, I guess, quite difficult at some level to process is this juxtaposition between the themes of the songs and the way those themes are presented. Like you said, the Gilbert Sullivan thing, you know, it's like this horrible thing. So rather like a Stephen King novel, you know, where all of these awful things are happening and you're laughing because of the way that they're described. And it's that kind of thing, isn't it? Where there's and it's that dissonance between those two things that kind of is quite compelling.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? And it's like it's a really singable song. It's really cutting, and the other thing about this one is it sounds like you're sitting in an intimate bar with somebody, you know, with a clink of wine glasses, and you're having an argument with them because they've completely lost their sense of perspective, and you can't shut them up. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so the hangers-on are too far gone for evidence. Paints a picture of the sycophantic entourage that surrounds fame. So, Satellite.
Let's assume you were right, with a game of charming, strange, and satellite. And when we've all had our fun, deflate the stars and put away the sun, so we can call it a
So looking at the kind of the info on the album,
Yeah.
it's quite interesting how many for what seems like quite an intimate little thing. So the image that you have in your own mind is that it's her writing songs with her guitar, singing with a few backing musicians.
Mm.
And actually, when you look at the album, it's really quite complex because she's got multiple songwriters with her,
Mm.
and then a huge number, well, relatively huge number of producers. So
Mm.
she's a producer, and Buddy Judge, and John Brion, and Mike Deneen, and Brendan O'Brien are all
Mm.
producers on
Mm.
this album.
And there was this sort of crowd of people who used to gather together in a bar and do stuff and play stuff to each other. So the origins of these things are never one person, but I think that's part of the reason why it's like that too. That it's a common project. It's a community of people that have pulled this stuff, or she's pulled this stuff out of, somehow.
Yeah, and I guess
Interesting.
keeping them involved in it is also quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you were in some sort of relationship with a musician and you were sharing kind of secrets with them or talking about stuff, and then it came out in a song, and it's like, hold on, that's about me. You would feel almost like this had been stolen, wouldn't you?
Yes. Yeah. And I don't get that feeling about her. I think she's a very inclusive person.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be.
Yeah.
So Deathly, the seed of Magnolia.
I love this. Yeah, there's a character in Magnolia who's a drug addict, cocaine user, who thinks that her father molested her. And when she meets a police officer. I thought this was a song about hating people, particularly with the first line. But which is the line that she says in the film when she meets the police officer. But he's a good guy, and it's actually about someone who hates themselves. And she's saying, just go away. Don't come anywhere near, because I'm much too dangerous, and that would be unfair and sad. I'll just hurt you or screw you up or something. And that's just so
Now that I've met you, would you object to never seeing each other again? 'Cause I can afford to climb aboard you. No one's got that much ego to spend. So don't work your stuff, because I've got troubles enough. You don't pick on me. When one act of kindness could be endlessly.
It's a very catchy song, this, isn't it? Even though in some ways it's kind of quite ploddy and a bit of a dirge. It's
slow.
Yeah, it's very, very catchy.
It'd be interesting to see how you feel about it in a couple of weeks' time, because I find that I never forget them. They sort of stick in here.
Yeah, I have found that. So I obviously I don't know the album well yet.
No.
So but certainly already after just listening to it a few times, I feel a sense of kind of familiarity with much of it.
Good.
Which is nice.
Yes.
So Ghost World.
Yes.
So this is inspired by the graphic novel Ghost World, I believe.
Yes, and I had no idea that existed, so that was good. Yeah, it's written from the perspective of one of two teenagers. So Ghost World is about two best friend high school graduates hanging around after and trying to decide what to do with their lives. And one of them is called Enid Coleslaw. And the reason why she's called Enid Coleslaw is she's a anagram of Daniel Clowes, who wrote the comic book.
Right.
But I like this. It's sort of, before I knew any of that, which is really understandable. And I've seen the trailer for the movie that they made of this, which looks hilarious. But it reminds me of that at the end of the summer, you've got this terrible anticlimax after your exams and you don't know what to do with yourself. You know.
So here we go, Ghost World.
Funnels blue and belly in my graduation speech, with college out of reach. If I don't find a job, it's down to that and Myrtle Beach. So I'm bailing this out, or tearing it down, or probably more like hanging around. Everyone I know is acting weird or way too cool. They had
I mean, it's all such lovely stuff. It's kind of quite difficult to press pause on it, isn't it? Because I'll just have a little bit more of that. I'll just have
yes.
But yeah, another great song. I mean, she has a very strong sound, doesn't she? Not so much style, although her voice is very compelling and very obvious. But the tracks all sound similar. I don't mean that they're copies of each other. You know what I mean? In terms of the sound and the texture of the song, they all sound quite similar. So it fits very well together as an album from that perspective.
I think it's interesting to see it from the perspective of her earlier days when she was doing more poppy stuff, and obviously she'd been a punk and she had spiky hair, and the stuff she did then was a bit rockier, and this is a bit softer. But it's evolved, and she's still evolving, which is good. Yeah.
So calling it quits.
Another
breakup song.
Oh yeah, but a particular sort of breakup song, right? This reminds me of all the people I know who've sold out their principals to go and work for big money, often in the Middle East, and the awful people they have to work with there to survive. And was it a really good idea? Well, it's all right because I'm going to be absolutely loaded, so who cares? Yeah, I know a lot of people like that because of work in the construction industry. But then I also saw that somebody on YouTube had said that it reminded them of a Bond theme from a renegade production focusing on Moneypenny's point of view.
Okay.
So yeah, I do love this song. I shout this song out in the kitchen.
Yeah, again, this is one of the high points. Mind you, so was Deathly as well for me. So there are a number of standout songs on the album.
Yeah.
So here we go, calling it quits.
He's a serious mister. Shake his hand and he'll twist your arm. With monopoly money, we'll be buying the funny farm. So I'll do flips and get paid in chips from a diamond as big as the rigs that I'm calling quits.
Turn it up.
Thing is, I'm bopping away to someone talking about how she's ending a relationship with someone, So it is that juxtaposition again, isn't it?
Yes, yes. It's really jolly and it's not jolly.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So clever.
Yeah. So,
It's a great
so
video of that one as well, by the way. I'll put it in the show notes.
yeah, do. I'm mindful of the fact that we're at 1:45 and
Yeah,
we're
we've
just
got.
over halfway through. So
Oh, blimey. Okay.
driving sideways. I owned a BMW a few years ago, so I'm familiar with this.
Right. Now, this is quite a lot of her songs are sort of three-part dialectical, like so thesis, antithesis, synthesis. And this is right. It's the analogy of being in a car with someone you definitely shouldn't have got in the car with. And the first verse is about how you got there. The second one is it's fine, or at least it seems okay to you. And the last one is, oh well, I suppose we'll just have to see what happens next.
Yeah, I mean, I remember many years ago it being in exactly that situation. So a friend of mine at school, her boyfriend, when I was 17, maybe, her boyfriend had a little Alpha Sud, which was,
Oh,
quite a cool car to have when you're
yes.
young. And he drove it like a lunatic. And I got a lift on one occasion, only one occasion, because after that I thought I would rather walk, frankly, than get in the car with this.
I know someone like that.
And it was very funny because apparently she had been complaining a week or so later. She'd been complaining about how he drove, and he was in this like a stream of traffic, and he said, "I've been driving now for well over a year, and I've not had a nap," and ran into the back of somebody.
Oh God!
Which was just perfect. So here we go, driving sideways.
At least you know you were taken by a brother. I know just how you feel. She talked a perfect game, deflecting all the blame. You took the jag and changed the flat and got behind the wheel. Now you're driving sideways, taking about the scenery as you're propelled along. Your companion will not help you to navigate the fear she may be wrong. The fear she may be wrong. And you will say,
Yeah, I'll watch out for that. The kind of the here's where I
Three-parter.
am. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's quite a nice way to write a song, isn't it?
Yes.
It moves you through the story.
Yeah. And then you get the kicker at the end. Usually, yes.
Yeah. So just like anyone,
Yes.
this apparently is a eulogy for Jeff Buckley.
Yes, apparently. That she didn't know him very well, but she ran into him in a noisy bar, and they, in order to communicate, they wrote each other notes, and she realised how, because they wrote each other notes, they said things to each other that you wouldn't say out loud, and that was quite lovely, and she was really touched by it, and they got on really well. And then through a number of circumstances, she never got to talk to him again, and he rang her, and she didn't have his number because this was, a long time ago when people didn't automatically have numbers. And by the time she'd found out, he was already dead. Yeah. But I also think, it's a song about suicide. She did write it for him. That doesn't mean that she thinks he committed suicide at all. But I think this is probably the most beautiful song I know about the fact that there isn't any way back. It's too late. It isn't okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's just what it is, and you just have to get on with it. And that's heartbreaking.
This is described as a palate cleanser because it's
only 1 minute 22.
Yeah. So here we go.
so maybe I wasn't that good a friend, but you were one of us. And I wonder, just like anyone, if there was something else I could So maybe it's true that your cry for help was oh so very faint, but still I heard and knew something was wrong. Just nothing you could put your finger on, and I wonder just like anyone, just like anyone.
Is that fabulous?
It's not often that we get a chance to listen to a whole track on the show, so that's really nice. Yeah, it's kind of it's very poignant, isn't it? Beginning with that kind of maybe I wasn't such a good friend kind of theme, and you know, the backstory to it is
Yeah.
interesting and profoundly sad, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And actually, it happens all the time. Most of the time, you run into people, how you touch them, their lives, you'll never know. And particularly now when we're online as well, you never know the effect of your good deeds or your not good deeds on whoever. You just don't know. You just have to decide what to do with your life and see, and probably never see what happens. You'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, the critical consensus was overwhelmingly good for the album, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so Pitchfork gave it 9 out of 10. Metacritic gave it 89 out of 100. Nick Hornby described her as a pop star and a literary figure. You know, it's like pretty good feedback
Yes.
on the album, isn't it?
Yes.
And when you look at all the different pieces of it, she's a very sophisticated songwriter, isn't she?
Absolutely.
So, Susan.
Yes. Okay, so this is her telling a friend that she realizes, in this case, she was the one who made a mistake going into a relationship and wasn't listening when her friend told her that she should have listened. But and again, it's a cheerful song about making a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, Susan, you were clued in. You knew just how this thing would go. A prognosis that was hopeless from the very first domino. I guess I see it all in hindsight. I tried to keep perspective despite the flash of the fuse, the smell of chlorine. Now I'm in that place again, and I know he can't come here to get me. And someday he will live to regret me. Susan, I can see it now.
That lovely bit of guitar playing is
Yes.
Wikipedia Michael Penn playing.
Oh, right. There you
Very
go.
good. I'm genuinely impressed.
Yes. Yeah, it's
So,
lovely. It's another 3-verse song.
Yeah.
You can check that one out too. Yeah.
Tremendous. And a little bit more upbeat and a little bit more movement in the song,
Yes.
than some of the other songs, but still, as you said, a pretty grim topic.
Yeah.
It takes all kinds.
Yes.
Key lyric in this: "You've become what you hated."
Yeah. Yes, I don't know who our dear friend Ron is. There's a bloke in this called our dear friend Ron. Back once you were just our dear friend Ron. Now you look out for number one. Who'd have guessed that you'd become what you hated? And this is about an end of relationship as well. But what sort of relationships? I don't know. I've had relationships where it ends in a way that you wonder whether everything that happened before was some sort of mirage because the person has completely changed.
Mm.
And that's what I thought of when I heard this song. But it's quite a much more lugubrious one than the previous song.
Well, what a lovely word, lugubrious.
As we were speaking of the devil, you walked right in, wearing hubris like a medal you revel in. But it's me at whom you'll level your javelin. Wasn't that just a dear friend throwing your weight around the sun? Happier now that you've become what you hated. What you hated. I'm surprised I even thought I had half a chance. I was just one in a million of all so rare.
Perfect way of describing it. Sophisticated cerebral performer.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, marvellous.
So,
One more.
yeah. So this is the last show of the year.
Yes.
And show number 150. So congratulations, Sue, for joining me for that.
Oh, congratulations, Adam.
Well, it's not just my work, is it? It's everyone's. So this last song to play out with, and a Merry Christmas to everybody. This last song to play out with, an anti-love song. It's described as in my notes. It dismantles the idea that another person can complete you.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's more than that. I think it's a song about an abusive relationship. And interestingly, the first song they Till Tuesday had a hit with, Voices Carry, was about domestic violence. And this is another three-parter. And the words of the chorus and the title of the song, You Do, mean different things every chorus, which is very clever.
How about that, eh? She's kind of Stevie Nicks meets Janice Ian. Really, really good. On the subject of Janice Ian, if you don't follow her on Twitter or Facebook, you should. Because
she's marvellous on Facebook, yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So, You Do.
Yeah.
And we'll play out with this. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you. And I'll put my show notes in the group, so join the group.
Fantastic.
That album.
Stay the night at his house with no right to work, and I'm the one who tells you he's another jerk.